Hi, welcome to the live stream this morning. So I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be coming through me to give you messages based on who's listening and also for the week ahead. So just before we start, I just want to mention a few things. So one is I have new appointments up on the Archangel Raphael site for the next 3 weeks. Um, and also I've updated the Gaza fundraiser, so there are more offerings on that now. So there are four things that are being offered as part of that, and one is the soul vision and soul signature. The second is soul weaknesses. So these are weaknesses that you have on a deeper level of your being that will be with you for the rest of your life that you need to work on for life, like deeper things that have formed over many lifetimes. The third is ancestral gifts and strengths, and an activation for that. And the fourth offering is ancestral weaknesses, and a transmission for that. So they're the four different offerings. So you can access all of that through the Archangel Raphael site. If you wish to donate to Gaza directly, we have links in the description to very good projects. And I've also included the top one for a 20-year-old man called Amjad in Gaza, who's part of a very large family. Um, and he needs to raise money for food and water. So any donation to him, would be very appreciated by him. Even small donations. And the fundraiser is in Norwegian krone because it's been organised by someone in Norway. However, he does get all the money. And finally, if you wish to join a group, go to the gen.net site. Every Tuesday, we have New Earth transmission groups. And every month on a Friday, we have a clearing and recalibration group. So all that can be accessed on the gen.net site. Yes, I'm just going to let Raphael come in and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I'm seeing is that the energies are very much about going inwards at the moment, very much about going within, and also focusing on the things you would like to be creating in your life. I would like you to know that sometimes when you are feeling inside like something is not quite right, it is always because there is something to adjust, whether it is internal or whether it is an external adjustment that needs to be made. But what I will say is feelings inside that something isn't right will indicate that there is something to do. It may even be that your own internal state is not right, that there is something there, some deeper trauma, something else even, perhaps even negative interfering energies that mean that you cannot be in the light when it comes to something in particular. But what I will say is that it is not about trying in any way to resolve the problem by doing things such as being very positive in your mind, trying to be in one way or another, going into a state where you are trying to ignore the problem. It is much more about finding the answer. And sometimes the answer is in doing deep inner work. Sometimes the answer is something else, something more practical. But the way that you know the difference is that when it is something practical, you will have a sense of what it is, what you can do, and it will feel good, and it will feel also peaceful, like you are not doing it out of anger or any other irritation coming from within, but you are doing it because it feels right. And with that, it makes things right. But when it is an internal problem, you will feel agitated inside, like something needs to be resolved within. And this is always going to be that there is something else to clear first. And when you have done this, then you may find yourself taking action. And it feels like it is very natural, automatic, without charge. I also would like you to know that there are many things in the world which have not been fully resolved, many things which are still coming full circle, many things which are not really fully understood yet by those who are perhaps able to make decisions on behalf of others. And what I mean by these things is that they are the sorts of things that need attention by people. And I will say that if you are part of that, it is important to be in your purpose at the moment and be doing that. Whether you are meant to be working in the healing area, where perhaps you are bringing some things to light, perhaps about deeper trauma, mental health, things which are not understood by the mainstream in depth enough so that people have what they need, or whether it is about other global, larger issues that affect many, many, many people in the world. But there are many things at the moment that need to be fully resolved by actually clearing the energy, but also working in the light, in the way that you are actually able to communicate things to larger audiences. So, what I'm really speaking about are things which have been going on for a long time, where many people are affected, things which are really very misunderstood in the world, perhaps things which are even deliberately, in one way or another, put in a certain light that is in one way coming from a darker energy where there is a lot of shadow, a lot of energy around trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, so to speak. So, what I will say is that it is the right time for those of you who are spokespeople, who are meant to be here to represent others, to actually find your voice, to speak up, to share information, to do what you are guided to do. For those of you who are here in order to bring things into the light, to make sure that there is no injustice in to bring harmony back in this way. It is the right time for you. And if you are not quite sure how to do this, you will be shown, you will be guided by your higher self. But I will say that it is really all about, at the moment, being in your higher purpose, especially if you are in this category. And the way that you will know is that when you go within, you will have a sense that there is something that you know that other people do not, something that is unique, something that needs to be heard in order for things to be right in the world. I would like you to know that this is something that you will feel on a soul level, something you will feel when you go deep within. And the deeper you go, the stronger the feeling will become. And if you are not able to really go into a state where you are able to do this, then it is about just doing it to happen at the right time, that perhaps your time has not fully come yet, that it will become activated at a slightly later point when what you have to say is more relevant. So, for some of you, you may know yourself to be spokespeople, but you are not fully feeling it yet. There is nothing you really feel you want to say yet, even though you can feel there are things you know inside that need to be said. So it is a reminder that there are a few of you here who perhaps need to be in one way or another more with yourselves right now. And then later on, something will happen in the world that requires your energy. It may be something that is all about perhaps the environment, and perhaps there is something that happens that is very unique, that really does need, in one way or another, to be explained in a way that people are able to understand the deeper meaning of what is going on. Or it may be around something else. But I will say that there are many of you here who have very unique knowledge of particular things. Sometimes it may involve groups of people. Sometimes it may involve places in the world. Sometimes it may involve types of energy in the world. Sometimes it may even be about something quite obscure that most people would not even think about. But when your time is here, you will know, you will feel it inside. And I also would like you to know that there is no such thing as you needing to ever be the sort of people who go along with things. That it is not about being the sort of people who simply keep a harmony in the world by going along with things that perhaps do not feel right inside, but you go along with nonetheless in order to have a more harmonious life on the surface. That these times are the complete opposite, that it is about true peace, which actually comes from a deeper place of actually really being able to articulate everything that needs to be said aloud. And as humanity, that is the place you have reached now. So it no longer works to be silent when there are things you know. It no longer works to simply try to keep peace in the world by being silent, by going along with things that you know are not right inwardly. It is a time to be very much in your power. And when I say this, what I mean is that it is about your personal power being able to then guide you to do the right thing at the right time. And sometimes it will be to walk away from certain situations. Sometimes it will be to speak up. Sometimes it will be to share knowledge and information and be the sort of people who help others to see something clearly, but in a light-hearted way, without trying to create anything that is around making people feel wrong or like there is something that they are doing isn't right, in a new way, in a harmonious way, where there's an appreciation that when you are in a state of oneness and communicate from this place, the people who are very much about this will hear you. They will hear this and they will also wake up. And I also will say one more thing, that there is such a thing as being in your power and always being able to be in a place where you are creating a sense in people that they have power too, of awakening people to their power, helping people to recognize that they have the same power within them. And as you do this, people will awaken on a deeper level. And the things that you may feel inside concerned about are automatically made right. So, this is the type of energy I see in the world. I see a type of energy emerging, which is about actually sharing information, communicating, oneness, a type of energy that includes everything that is perhaps considered very negative, very much about an energy that is destructive. It includes this in that there is going to be a lot of conversation about this, but in a way that is very much about an energy that is about pure light, truth, knowledge, oneness. And this is actually what will restore harmony to the earth. I will say one more thing about all of this. And I would like to share that those of you who are very immersed in your own lives, your personal selves, all of this applies to you on all levels of your life. It applies to your relationships, your love life, every aspect of your life. It is really time for every part of life to be in harmony now with the oneness. And this even includes the relationships you have with perhaps the people you may be renting a property from, people you may be doing business with. It includes everyone. It is about bringing everything back into harmony and a type of balance that is about pure light. So, this is what I'm seeing. I will say just one more thing, and that is when everything is in balance, the way that you know is that you feel inside a sense that there is pure light, peace in that area. So it may be in some areas of your life you already have this. It may be, for example, your home life is very peaceful, that you are happy generally at home, that there is nothing disharmonious there. It may even be you when it comes to your working life. It may be something else you do, you love to do, such as a hobby, that is where there is total peace and harmony, no obstruction to the light. But what I will say is that it is about restoring this in all areas of life. I have no more to say on this subject. I would like to speak on one more thing today, and this is actually very much about letting go of anything that has been in your life that has caused you a type of energy imbalance that is referred to as somatic stress. So, this is much more about what you are experiencing on a very somatic level. So, this is not necessarily to do with whether something is wrong or right by nature. It may be that someone, for example, is actually really in harmony within with themselves and the light. But when you are around them, you feel very stressed. And this may be because what they are all about, perhaps they are very much about transformation and change. Perhaps they carry a strong energy, almost like the violet flame burning within them, that transforms everything they come into contact with. And perhaps your energy is much more about being in an energy of trying to be at peace within and being with what is and working through things in a very grounded way without going into really rapid processes of transformation. Perhaps you like to do things more slowly and work with your feelings in a very grounded way. So when you come into contact with this person, your whole body may become stressed. You may start to feel really a bit like there is so much going on inside. You can't keep up. And that is your experience of this person. And so it is not about trying to understand everything. It is about noticing how you feel and then doing what is right for you without making any judgment at all. Letting go of judgment, letting go of anything you create in your mind, because this has often been the norm in life to create things in your mind which may or may not be correct. So, what I'm saying to all of you is that new age is also a time where you are noticing things in your body more, where you are no longer making others wrong or making yourself wrong, but noticing what feels good, appreciating that there are things in life that exist which are very positive, perhaps for other people, but not for you. Perhaps even teachers, spiritual teachers who are well known and seen as fully enlightened, and perhaps they even are. But when you are with them, you don't feel good because what they are, the aspect of light that they are in one way or another embodying, is not really resonating with who you are. So it may be that they are a very powerful being and they have a lot of ability to transform people. But your way of doing things on a soul level is not the same. And it is about really noticing how you feel. It is no longer about going along with what doesn't feel right to you. And equally, if something does feel good on a very grounded, somatic level, and your cells feel good around that energy, that person, that activity, you've noticed that your life force increases when you do it, then it is also important to honor this. So it is actually a time where you will be following how you feel in your body more, where you will be noticing things, and you may start to feel inside that some things no longer suit you, that there are things in your life which you know are good, people who you know are really good, but you don't feel good around them. You feel stressed, you feel afraid. It may even make you feel inside that perhaps you are not able to really even cope with being in that environment too long. And so this is really important. And as you start to notice and act on this without judgment, without making a big story or fuss about it, you are then guided to the right people, places, and eventually your life becomes really easy. And as a result, your body relaxes, your cells actually calm down, they become very stable, very much in an energy of peace and calmness. Your body starts to heal, and eventually you find yourself feeling very well. And you even notice that you generally don't collide with energies that make you feel unwell because you have chosen things that really feel good to you on a grounded level. And after a while, when you are walking like this, you start to feel settled in yourself. But what I will say is for some of you that this is a journey for two reasons. And one is it is about actually becoming observant, first of all, and noticing how you feel. And if you are used to always being a bit stressed around people or in environments, you may not really notice what is really going on a deeper level, what it is that is making you feel like this, whether it is just stress that you already have in your body from before, or whether it is related to the environment, the person you are around. The second reason is more to do with karma you are carrying. And so sometimes there is something you want to get away from because of how you feel inside, but you find yourself feeling trapped because of karmic entanglement. And it may even be that as you try to get away, you are made to feel wrong by the other person or by the group of people, that you somehow keep getting drawn back in, or something else happens. And this is always to do with karma. When you are not able to make a clear decision and walk away, when something keeps pulling you back, or something keeps happening. And what I will say is that these things do need to be worked with. And it is really important that ultimately you will end up with the right people. Do you do the things that bring you peace in your body? That it is not only about being in your higher self connection and noticing things which feel generally like they are good things, noticing things from a distance, perhaps seeing someone does good work or something else is really positive. But it is about your personal relationship with it. It is really a time where the higher part of you and the very personal, grounded part of you is coming together on a deeper level. And so it is no longer about constantly needing to go within and check in with your higher self about things. It is about bringing your higher self very deeply into your body and then observing your body and how it feels. I hope I'm making sense, but this is actually an energy that will be there in the new age on a very deep level. And I will say one more thing, and that is those of you who have always been like this, very much about how you feel in your body. You may find that what you are now doing is being able to be in more varied environments. Actually, you may have increased your range of what you are able to actually be around. Because by being in touch with your body and really working with this, you will have actually come to a point where you are able to actually be in different environments, many different types of environments, because you have already settled something within you, perhaps had your needs met on a very grounded level, where you feel met by life on a very personal level. So your range then increases. I hope I'm making sense. But those of you who have not explored this, you may find yourself for a while feeling very much that there are only certain people, places you can be around because your needs need to be met first. And these needs may be very deep, perhaps even from years when you were a young child, a baby even. So that is all I'm saying. Be with yourself on a grounded level. Let yourself be met by life in the right way. And then you will start to feel inside that actually your body feels very peaceful. You feel settled in yourself. And after a while, you are able to actually take this with you wherever you go. And you get to a point where you really increase the range of what you are able to tolerate, take, and feel okay with. I hope I am making sense. So, this is something that is really important to explore. I have one more thing to say, and that is there is no such thing as really needing to be with people in the world in a way where you are going to be always meeting their needs. Relationships are about two things. They are about being able to appreciate the person who is in front of you or the being, whether it is a plant, animal, person, mineral, but it is about appreciation. And if you appreciate someone, something, then it is actually going to draw that person, that being to you ultimately. The second thing is that it is about being able to be your true self around that person, that being. And that is all. And it is not about needing to fulfill every need that being has, but it is about these two things. And when these things are there, you are able to have a really positive impact on each other's lives simply by being yourself around another being. It actually increases something within you, an energy, and increases an energy in the other person as well, if they feel the same. And this increased energy then creates the right environment where the needs of that person and you are automatically met. I would like to remind you that this is what a true relationship is about increasing each other's energy. And then this automatically makes the right thing happen. So, for example, if someone is in need of financial support, it may be that you do not have what they need, but you are able to appreciate that person. You are able to actually be with that person in an authentic way. And this will increase the energy of that person and it will help them to attract what they need. So, this is an example. I have no more to say. I would like you to know that what I see in the week ahead is that there will be a lot of positive energy coming in to the world generally on a global level. It is a positive week, and I see you will all benefit from this. That is all. Hmm, hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening. And yeah, so wishing you a really good week ahead and lots of love to all of you. Hmm.